After a long development journey since the advent of COVID-19, Hlakanyana is set to bring folklore, award-winning music and magic to the Keorapetse William Kgositsile Theatre at the UJ Arts Centre this Africa Day. Directed by Janice Honeyman and featuring some of South Africa's most promising emerging artists, Hlakanyana features a sly, unethical creature depicted in animal or human form and who is the long-awaited son of the chief of a village. But instead of being a uniting force, he leaves devastation in his wake. To share more on this production, we're now joined by director Janice Honeyman and actor Momo Matsunyane, the actor and the head writer as well. Ladies, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to start with you, Janice. Tell us, what's this play about?
Whoa, that's a big question.
Yeah.
It's folklore, and so it's about all sorts of things, but one would say it's about a journey or a quest to find a full person.
Yes.
And this is Hlakanyana, who moves from a young rebel, a young undeveloped man, and then moves to finally getting advice from the stars.
Okay.
And actually living a good life and being able to go back to the village from which he was banished.
So what sort of themes are explored in this folklore?
Well, I would say themes of arrogance, themes of, Momo, what else?
Perhaps love. There's also social themes surrounding what happens to the child who is not taken care of or guided, mentorship, and politics.
Yeah.
And why do you think, Momo, this play is so fitting, especially for this coming Africa Day?
Well, I mean, folklore has obviously been a part of our tradition on our continent for many years.
Sure.
And I feel like one of the things at its core is obviously a very lesson-oriented, right? And we want everybody to leave kind of having connection with the work, but also leaving with a particular message.
Yeah.
And I think Hlakanyana embodies what the youth is asking for right now. The youth are asking to be included in big decision making. The youth don't want to be sidelined or subjugated in topics that are affecting them and in their communities. The youth want to have a voice. And so I think it's so apt that on Africa Day, we start the journey of this amazing musical, which has been in process for a very long time. Yeah.
I mean, she just mentioned that the youth, want to have a voice. To get a sense then that this play will sort of provide a platform for the youth to have a voice.
No, absolutely, and we've focused very strongly on that. It is a story for young people. It is a story that speaks to young people now, although it's folklore. And that's always fascinating about the theatre, is you can take something that's traditional and you can put it in the present or in the future, and it will you'll find that it has relevance. And for me, that proves that it's a good folk story as well.
Yes.
You know, and it's passed on to the younger generation. And the cast and the people who've devised it the audiences are all going to be young. The ones that I'm working with at the moment are my babas, my children.
She's our mama.
Okay. I mean, it may be, some may call it fiction. It is a folklore, but I think it sort of has that human element because it tackles some of the issues that the young people in particular face on a daily basis. So what makes it so relevant to date?
Well, I would say that it's a young man who is being basically victimized by society because he's different. And, that happens a lot. Anyone who's different gets bullied, gets pushed, gets squashed down. And this happens to Hlakanyana, but he fights against it. And eventually, although he's naughty, although he doesn't have a set of... He's a trickster. Like Anansi. I mean, he's one of those typical trickster characters.
Yes.
But he learns his lesson with each trick that he plays. He learns another lesson. And that was very deliberate, because in the original folklore, Hlakanyana dies by accident, right, after stealing a tortoise, and then his mother pours oil on his back to get the tortoise off. Oops. But in our adaptation, it was very important that the lesson is learnt, that Hlakanyana gets redeemed, and that he gets an opportunity to go back to the same society and the people that he played tricks on, and to almost say, okay, I've learned my lesson, I apologize, but please reintegrate me into society because I've learned my lesson. And how often do we, kick people to the side just because they might not fit what we think we expect from other people in society, or people who don't necessarily share the same dreams we do, or poor people, or people who don't have much, So it is about lending a voice to that and to the silenced voices that we see every single day on the streets, the Hlakanyanas who don't have what we have, who don't have the privileges that we have. How do we bring those people into our society, because we need them in order to move forward and to grow?
Well, Hlakanyana might have learned his lesson, but what lesson can we learn in terms of all those who will be viewing this film?
I think some of the lessons is in accepting other people for being different.
Sure.
I think we all think we are a special kind, right? And then in protecting our special kind, we reject what might look different from us. And I think it'll teach us to be more accepting of people. It'll teach us to want to pass on the lessons. For an actor like myself, getting the honor to work with Mama J is incredibly huge. And so in the passing down of the storytelling, we're hoping that perhaps our story will also be continued for generations to come.
Now, Momo, as you stepped into this role, what did that teach you about your own craft, about yourself as an artist?
That I'm badass. I'm joking.
Go, girl.
I mean, no, really. It was really quite a privilege for me. After taking part in the workshopping process online during COVID, that was very tricky for us as theatre practitioners.
I can imagine.
Yeah. We like no light. We didn't know what we were working on top of, whether this will change or not, right? And so eventually, as restrictions eased, and then Madevu Entertainment and UJ asked me to be the head writer of the production, and I was commissioned 3 drafts. And my goodness, what a privilege, what a challenge. I studied acting and film and television. I've workshopped and created my own plays, but to really be given a platform to babes, lend your voice, write the story, take it forward. That's quite a privilege for me, and I'm very grateful that I got to exercise my writing chops in this one.
Great stuff.
Well, if I may say, Momo, you are the one who could do it. We only gave it to you because we know your talents, and she's a poet. She's a beautiful writer. She's a wonderful actress. She's a great singer. And I'm so glad that you and I have got together, because wait for it, baby.
Yes.
There's got to be more.
Well, I haven't watched the film as yet, but just listening to her narrating the film, I can almost imagine, the characters and what the film espouses.
The play.
No, the play, I beg your pardon.
A piece of theatre.
A piece of theatre, isn't it? Yeah. And then now, Mama J, let's talk about the FADA Interdisciplinary Theatre Program and the students who are part of this production.
Well, they were mainly, it was the Design 101, it was UJ's way of working, of us working with young people. And that's another thing, that we've got, the set is designed by young people. They worked in groups, and then at the end of the process, where Sarah Roberts was the mentor and I was there as mentor director sort of thing, we've taken one element from one group and another element from another group, and we've put it together into what I think is a beautiful storytelling circle. And that as well is young people being able to give their voice to what they want to see on the stage.
Okay. All right, ladies, we're out of time, but just give us details about this play.
The play is on at the UJ Arts Centre. Tickets are available on the link that is on the screen right now. It runs from the 25th of May until the 8th of June.
All right. Great stuff. Lovely chatting to you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, to mark the celebration of Africa Day, UJ Arts and Culture and Madevu Entertainment present Hlakanyana at the UJ Arts Centre, set to open on the 25th of May. We just spoke to the director, Janice Honeyman, and actor, Momo Matsunyane.